What is good, everyone? I am your host, Andy Malafrino. With me, as always, the late, great Pat, the Grateful Dead, George. Starting off the podcast with immense energy. We will not capture the moment again. Yes, Patrick,
Notice
show
anything
them.
new, Andy?
Show them. If you can't, for the audio listeners, you may not be able to notice, but Patrick has what is called a lavalier mic, commonly used by news broadcasters when reporting said news. Beep, 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 beep. What's up on the acid reflux report, Pat?
That's right, Andy. No, I do have the lavalier mic on. I'm trying to get the levels right on it, but I just mainly wanted to be hands free, so that way I'm unencumbered when it comes to the rock and roll talk. You know? Oh, that's
Wonderful.
better.
Sorry,
That's better if I talk into the microphone.
I'm trying to post this in the PITM Discord just to let everyone know that we go live most Sundays at 7 p.m.
Yeah, I think the main part of this is I think I might switch back to the other mic. It was mainly the shadow that was casting on my face really bothered me, and I wanted to try something new, and I thought outside the bun, and I really didn't work out. I don't know how good I sound. It sounds.
You sound fine. That was why it was so funny. Is it literally? So Pat goes, he's like, I don't know if you noticed, I have a lavalier mic. Now I can operate hands free. And I start laughing, and he goes, what? And I'm like, Pat, you've always been doing it hands free. You've never held the mic.
Right. Well, like now I definitely don't have to. Like it's right here. Like it's right. I'm just talking into a microphone right now, Andy, and I'm looking at you. Where are my hands? At my side. And so if I'm an old gunslinger, you're in trouble, buddy, because I got both of them free.
Pat, ask me a question real quick.
Hey, Andy.
Ask me where my hands are.
Andy, if you don't mind me asking, where are your hands currently?
On my side.
Oh.
I'm also a gunslinger. Fuck you, dude.
Where's your lavalier? Also unrelated to lava itself. Magma is nothing to do with this microphone whatsoever. I thought maybe there was a special formula they used to make it so tiny, but it's just a smaller microphone. It's not as good as some of the other ones, you know?
You're fun, dude.
I am trying to be. Andy, I think I appreciate everybody for watching. I know we have a lot of notable celebrities that watch. Anthony Green of Seosin and A Circus Survive. I know he watches the show. Keith Buckley, he's hanging out in the bubble bath. Marcus McGrath from Sugar Ray, he's a huge fan. That's Marcus B. McGrath. That was their roadie. Who else?
Can I actually? Do you mind if we kind of just hop into this early? I actually have a game I want to get into.
Oh, really? Oh, you got a game?
Yeah, I made up a game. It's called Manifesta Early 2000s Emo Rock Operas. It's where you guess if it's either a manifesto or a line from the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
Dude, once I started, it was way more disturbing. Like I couldn't find a ton of like the
how much you agreed with most of them.
Well, yeah, well that, and also the fact that like the fact that
did you do what everyone does? Did you do what everyone does when they read the Unabomber's manifesto? Is you kind of get through it, then you start going, wait, how many nail bombs was it? It was what, 3?
Yeah.
3? I mean, we're just gonna ignore a whole manifesto over 3 nail bombs. All right, okay.
Well, it's almost like how, you know, when people joke about like, oh, Hitler used to be he was a pretty good painter. You know what I mean? Maybe if he was a better painter, he would be better off, I guess. Or if he would have just focused on the painting, I guess maybe. But I think there's
you think if he was a better painter, they'd ignore all the Jew deaths?
No, not ignore him. I just don't think he would have been as motivated to kill as many Jews. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Like, but I think again, Andy, I don't know if you noticed this. My hands aren't even in frame right now. They're right on the table flat. I'm just going to give a hand update the whole episode. But the manifestos were a lot less disturbing than a lot of the emo lyrics. Do you know what I mean? The emo lyrics seem more damning to me if they were brought up. If they were read dry with no like music behind them, except for them kind of rhyming sometimes or meeting some kind of like cadence in some way. Like it was really hard to read both of them completely dry without any kind of you
This
know.
actually goes into a good segue into letting people know some of the videos I've posted over this weekend. Dude, I've been on a fucking roll over the weekend.
Yeah.
I got a
Been a
lot
lot
of
of reviews.
fucking I got a lot of fucking videos out here. But no, you talking about with those emo lyrics, there's this band, they're called Real Friends, and they're sort of bringing back in the same way that See You Space Cowboy is like bringing back the beauty of screamo and shit like that, but in a modern context. Now, to be fair, Real Friends has been out for a minute, but they're still doing like that early 2000s emo where most of the lyrics were just like, it is ironic how much you're using your hands now to adjust the microphone. arguably touching it more than you've ever touched your regular microphone.
Hands free. Here, give me.
So much more convenient.
Andy. Oh, there's still a shadow on my face. Oh.
You could you could podcast mid-fight now.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
you could do that.
Yeah, I could arm wrestle somebody. 2 people. Come here, you sons of bitches.
You got to get a wireless mic. Then you can like walk around and fucking do like a keynote speech. That would be sick.
Then I really could be the man on the street. I could actually go, Andy, yeah, Andrew, yes, we're out here on we're at a Warp Tour and it's hot as fuck. I wish I hadn't worn a goddamn hoodie out. just die from heat stroke. I saw that NoFX was playing a couple, if not, I think like a couple of New York City shows coming up. And I believe it was like early 2024 or maybe like they're doing some European shows or something like that. I thought all of their American tours were done. And this is leading me into one of my the topics, very loose topic. I think I was totally right. I don't think they're actually quitting.
About NoFX?
They said that 2024 was officially going to be their last year.
Yeah.
And I do agree with that. Like that maybe they are still keeping up with the facade. But I'm mainly excited to announce the fact that I still do get a chance to possibly see them one more time before they're done. It's kind of weird. It's like I didn't have any kind of FOMO about it when they were playing. Like, oh, that's so gay that I just used that. I didn't feel like a shithead.
It's ironic you feel like a homo when you say FOMO. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, I feel like a total homo saying FOMO because honestly,
you're a homo FOMO. You're a FOMO homo.
No, I don't have any.
That's when you miss out. That's when you miss out on sucking dick. You're like, damn, I got some real homo FOMO.
I missed out on the lemon party. God
Wait, what? You and Jerry and Tony were all sucking each other off, and I wasn't there. God damn, I got some real homo FOMO.
I thought when you said bowling, I thought you really meant bowling. I didn't know there was like bowling.
I didn't know we were cramming balls in our mouths. God damn, I got homo FOMO.
But I didn't have homo FOMO when they were playing their last bit of what I guess they were saying. It's just how they've been announcing it. I feel like each part of the tour, they've been like, okay, these are the last times we're going to play Europe. Okay, this is the last time we're going to play. I thought they said that they weren't going to be playing the East Coast anymore of the U.S., but they added, I guess, some more shit.
Sorry, you said you had to add in of the U.S. I was like, wait, they're not playing East Coast Italy?
No.
Sorry, I'm a dickhead.
Canada, North America.
Sorry, Pat. You decided to do a podcast with an autistic dickhead. This is what happens. Well, you know the golden rule of bands breaking up.
What?
Is they never break up. Bands don't break up ever. Yeah. Like whenever they go on a hiatus, now I will say this. I think bands mean it in the moment. Yeah. Half the time. I think in the moment they probably mean it. That's why I respect the hiatus over the breakup. Because the hiatus is more like Blink-182. They said hiatus because they're like, we don't ever want to because 2 reasons. One, you know, they wrote the sappy song on their new album where they were like, oh my God, it took a plane crash and cancer and aliens being real for us to realize we need to hang out again. Skiba, kick rocks, dickhead.
Beat it.
Yeah, beat it. And sorry, I just randomly thought of I gotta remind you of this schizophrenic comment on one of the videos, but I'll do that later. Sorry, my brain's all over the place. No, so they were like, they didn't know the future, but they knew there was a chance. Like, oh, one, we might miss doing this together. It's like, they might get bored in the moment of playing fucking What's Your Age Again 20 times a week, but after a couple years off, you're like, dude, let's go out and play the fucking tunes. And then on the flip side, it's like, never say never, because you're going to be like, I fucking hate those guys. And then you look at your mortgage, and then you look at how shitty your fucking side project's doing, and you're like, hey, man, we really figured out our differences. It's like, it's a twofold thing. You might miss playing the music, and you also might miss the easy paycheck. So I fucking hate whenever bands say they're breaking up. Just say you're going on a hiatus, because it's almost definite you're getting back together.
Yeah, I think it's weird to say like we're breaking up, because like you say, 40 years is enough. We can do it. That's a good round number, all this stuff. I understand that, but athletes do this shit all the time where they're like, I could get one more year or something like that. And for athletes, especially fighters, was I guess who I'm referring to the most. Football players as well. Each year that you're going out on the road, you're risking injury and all this other shit. It's not the same way for bands. Like, dude, like Metallica, it looks like the most comfortable and fun environment to do music, to play music with your friends or even enemies.
Though?
Like in their case, where they're not even really great friends, and they're sitting there fucking like the dude's hanging out beforehand. He's smoking a couple cigars, like just making faces at fans.
Well, can I say this, Pat? Wait,
what?
Wait, what?
He's going,
you're like, dude, I'm just hanging out. Dude, this is great. This is great. Look at that guy over there. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm telling you, James Hetfield is like puffing on a fucking cigar, and then he's going like, it's like doing takes to fucking kids and stuff like that in the crowd. Like he's like old grandpa like level now. It's fun. It's like
I'll never stop doing this, guys.
This is what we do it for you guys. He's just poking him in the eyes. Boink.
Oop, got your nose. No, wait, that's Slayer.
They're covering it in honor of Jeff Hanneman.
No, can I say this is all right, guys, it's been a great episode. Have a good week.
Hands free.
No, but here's the thing. Most bands aren't Metallica. And even I bet you even NoFX. I would actually, now that I think about it, wait, let me do the joke. Now that I've thought about it,
you got it.
Now that I've thought about it, I just realized every band's not Metallica.
Hold on. Let me get my calculator out. Holy shit, Andy. Dude, it turns out like 99% of most bands aren't Metallica. Oh, we're a couple of gooses.
God damn, dude. It's the hands-free podcasting. That's how you get this. You got all this extra space to joke around.
I can hold my vape pen in either hand right now, Andy. Which one? Or both? Whoa.
But no, like even bands that we like that are on the higher end of popularity, it's still like an exhausting trek to go out on tour and stuff like that. Even if you're making good money and stuff, because the tour bus, that's expensive. I bet you not as many bands are getting that as we think. A lot of bands are like trying to save the money, do a nice van or something like that. I think it's actually pretty fucking exhausting for a lot of bands to go. And I bet you even a band like NoFX, I bet you it's at the end of the day, they're like, this is what I know how to do. This makes me some good ass money, but you're still exhausted at the end of a tour with NoFX.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, they have like all of their comforts kind of in place. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? They have, since what's his face, the drummer Smelly, since he became sober of heroin and all other substances.
Yeah.
Like in like 93 or 94 or some shit, like early on. Ever since then, they've always had separate. They've like not traveled separately, but they've had like separate green rooms, because they still like, he's like, okay, you guys can do your drinking and your fucking drugging and whatever, and I just want to have a nice quiet place to myself. And they did that. To me, like I am not a manager of the band or anything like that. This is our second headline of the show. Not only are not most bands Metallica, but I am also not officially the manager of NoFX or their tour or anything like that.
And I'll give you a twofer. Pat does not manage Metallica.
No, oh yeah. Most bands.
Yeah.
I actually don't manage most bands.
Most bands are not managed by me.
Yeah. So I feel like what other than that, like they kind of figured out a business model of like paying for vacations with tours. So like even if you just, not that you have to like commit to that, or you don't have to make a statement whatsoever. Like you don't have to. I feel like bands like they don't have to say that unless it is.
So I'll say
not a trick, but also like I'm sure most bands probably think it in the moment, but like you take a year or two off and then you're gonna be like,
they're probably being impulsive. They're probably being impulsive on the statement. I'll say two things to what you said. One, even if you have like the nice tour bus and you got hotel rooms and all this other stuff, I'm still saying like just being out on the road for a month or two or 3 or 4, it probably just in general gets exhausting. You're not around your shit. You miss your family. You're constantly on the move, doing stuff like that, whether it becomes physically or mentally exhausting. And I bet you a band like NoFX is best case scenario for, they're in a better situation than the average band going out on tour. To the other thing. Yeah. That's the other thing you said about, fuck, what did you say earlier? Wait, no. Oh, yeah. Just say like you're going on. Because you were saying, oh, just don't say anything. What's up, Derek? How you doing, buddy? You were saying like just don't say anything. I think give them at least a, hey, guys, we're going to take a break for a minute. Because then you can tamper down the constant, when you guys going to do something? When you going to do, what happened? What happened, guys? Where are you? But I know what you're saying. It's like you also can just stop making music for a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, go on, just stop doing shit. If you stop doing shit for 3 years, no one's gonna ask any questions.
A hiatus,
except like hardcore fans. And then if someone interviews you about it, you just go like, "Oh, we're just kind of chilling out for a while." It is a thing. They do make it into a much more bigger affair than it really needs to be, because, like I was saying earlier, almost 100% of bands are never truly broken up. They always at least, with the rare exception, like when you brought this up, that made me laugh so hard. The rare exception of fucking Operation Ivy, like they can't even. I remember that made me laugh so hard because I was like, you have a good point. You guys can't even do like Riot Fest or something. Like one of those like once a fucking year and overcharge the festival for it because people would cum their pants for it. Right. You don't even want to do that.
You don't even want to give your fans. Not even give your fans that, like, just for your guys' sake. Wouldn't that be fun to like have? Because no matter what, at least at one point, I can guarantee in every member of Operation Ivy's life still has that thought of like, man, that was, that'd be a lot of fun. Fucking because it's like when a movie doesn't do good in theaters, but then it goes out and like release or something like that, digital or some shit, and then it gets like this cult following, and then all of a sudden they're having like fucking like weird midnight showings where everybody's dressing up and shit. Like that's what I feel like that's what Operation Ivy was. I don't know how they were obviously not worldwide at the time of their breakup. But
but if they did fucking Riot Fest, they'd body.
It would not only like and like, okay, it's not about the money, blah blah blah, blah. That's my Tim Armstrong. And then it's not about the money, give it all away. Do it and give it all away. Give it to fucking Maui or some shit. Remember Maui?
I don't know why.
You guys remember Maui? That like just happened.
Well, no, that was Oprah burned that down with her space laser, so they're not really.
I'm sorry, you're right. I forgot about that. That was the space laser. God damn it!
Come on, Pat.
Never forget.
Hands free, Pat should get that shit. But it really surprised me, especially ever since I watched the ever since we watched the Descendants. I forget, you saw that, right? The Descendants documentary. Yeah. Do you remember at the end Milo was saying, he's like, yeah, the band's actually fun. He's like, we don't really tour, but we do these big festivals. So he's like, yeah, I'm like a teacher most of the year, and then I get to be a rock star a couple weekends. It's like I I don't know what's up with Operation Ivy right now. Like Tim Armstrong's obviously in bands. The guy always forget the lead singer, but he's like a weird.
Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura. So
Jesse the Body.
he's like off fighting Hulk Hogan or something. Or no, was he was a commentator, I forgot. Anyway, but
That's what
wait, what did Derek say? Because one's dead.
Okay, but
they
no,
actually,
but honestly, what the drummer? Hold on, the fucking drummer? Come on,
Tim Armstrong and the lead singer ain't dead. That's
Fucking
all anyone
drummer?
fucking wants it. But for
Matt
real though,
Freeman's alive, drummer's alive, Jesse Ventura's alive. Let's do it. Come on,
bro, if you're the bassist of Operation Ivy, I'd be pestering them every week to
Matt
be
Freeman.
like, yeah, I'd be like, yo, I'm bored at work. Can we do a show?
Andy, this is the diabolical part. The bass player for fucking Operation Ivy is the bass player for Rancid. It's Matt Freeman. So
Is it?
yes, dude, legitimately. I don't know why I said it like that. Sorry. Hands free Pat is fucking slurring like a motherfucking stroke victim.
God damn, how many boosters you get, dude?
Hold on a second. Let me just have another sip of this seltzer. But Matt Freeman is still alive and in a fucking active band with one of the other members. So
yeah,
honestly,
he's in. I'm looking on their Wikipedia. He's in Rancid.
Yeah, he's in Rancid. He's also, I think he's the bass player for Social Distortion now as well, and maybe a couple other bands. But like he like tours with them. Like I don't know if he's like in the band or not. But dude, most of Operation Ivy is Rancid. So like,
Rancid.
Rancid. So if you can, it's not only that, but like the fact that Rancid didn't even cover a couple of fucking Operation Ivy songs makes me sick. It makes me sick that the band that is able-bodied is only going to do like the last video we saw was them at some fucking like high school reunion or some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like
it was like a wedding or something.
You know what I mean? Like fucking get over yourselves and just do a cool show for your fans, you dickheads.
Dude, it's like what for me, I look at that and I go, why wouldn't you fucking wanna?
Right.
It's like the goddamn money you could make just doing a couple festivals a year as Operation Ivy would be nuts.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway,
like
I don't get it.
Yeah. You can have, no matter what, you can have it. You can have it all. You don't have to make an announcement that you're back together. Even you can just say we're doing 7 shows. You don't even have to do that. It's the same thing with NoFX that you don't have to say these are our last 7 shows in Europe and our last 8 shows in like just fucking just shut up. Just say.
Well, I thought how Better Lovers
shows. We're gonna just take a break.
How Better Lovers did it was like fucking perfect. They just were kind of, Every Time I Die breaks up, and then a couple months later, Jordan Buckley just posts some video of them in the studio, and then doesn't really say much, but it's like we all know what that is. Like there's a fun way to fucking do it.
Yeah, no matter what, you can do it in a way that's not like. And I don't think it's like pretentious. Like I'm not saying that they're shitheads, and maybe they like we've talked about this. I feel like to death, like with like especially with NoFX, like maybe they really are like done with it, and they are
for their own good.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, we're gonna retire, man. Like okay, but like it's still going to leave as long as all the members are open because. As of right now, I'm not really interested in anybody's side projects or businesses in the band or anything like that. But I would like to now that I've been granted another opportunity to see them in a place nearby me personally. Then I'm probably gonna go see them in New York City. Maybe I'll go out there to rock out with those punk rocking old dudes one more time, just in case one of them dies. In between like that, like
sure.
Derek brought up in the chat. I think it was about Pantera broken up for good because of the members dying. Like just in case somebody, gets seriously injured or God forbid passes away. Who knows? I want to see them at least one more time because they're doing like full album tours too. Sure. Like they're doing like full 2 or 3 albums per show.
Sure.
So like if it lines up perfectly, I would love to see So Long and Thanks for All the Shoes and 2 Hebes and a Bean.
Let's go. Yeah, no, that sounds sick. let's talk about this. So you are aware of the When We Were Young festival?
Hold on a second. Say that again.
Are you aware of the When We Were Young festival?
That's right, I am.
I can do that too. And I have
Whoa!
mics.
Hey, be careful, you got a mic right in front of you, bud. Jesus.
But yeah, so the When We Were Young festival, which is kind of turning into super expensive Warp Tour.
Yeah, that's a good name for
it. Which, fair enough. It's if people are gonna pay the ticket price, fine. And it's it's a fucking big ass show in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I gotta give them credit too. It's not like they have no one on it. It's not like they're overcharging, so to speak. Like you're at a show with Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, fucking all like Newfound Glory, all the bands we liked in high school. Like you're getting your money's worth. It's a pretty stacked lineup. But this year, they're actually doing a pretty interesting twist on it. And I don't know if you know this, Patrick, but this year at the When We Were Young festival, they're not just having all these bands. Each band is actually playing a full album front to back.
Wow.
That is my understanding.
This is like their big ones, I'm assuming.
Every single band. Let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit.
They're playing the album from When We Were Young. That's essentially that's pretty fucking cool.
So they're doing, yeah. Okay, so we got it. Wait a minute. There we go.
There we go.
So we got it. Yeah, quick little rundown. Like My Chemical Romance is doing the Black Parade. Fall Out Boy seems to actually, now that I'm looking at it, they seem to be the only band not doing a full album. A Day to Remember's doing Homesick. Coheed and Cambria. This is kind of cool. Doing Good Apollo on Burning Star 4. 4 Year Strong is doing Enemy of the World. Motion Say soundtrack, Commit This to Memory. Dance Gavin Dance is doing Mothership. Newfound Glory, Sticks and Stones, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Seosin's doing Seosin.
They are they?
Yeah.
Nice.
I just thought that was funny. I was like, is that a type? And also Cartel is doing, it looks like they're just doing another band, but yeah. This is like
my favorite one.
Dustin Summer. Damn.
Two of my favorites are Hawthorne Heights is doing The Silence in Black and White, and the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus is doing Don't Fake It, because there was another one they were gonna do. Those are two bands where you're like, all right, you didn't even have to put those ones down. We know which albums they are doing.
The same thing with 303. It's like, yeah, no shit. We know which one 303 is doing. It's crazy that like there's like that is even. It's not even when I was young. That's like when like you're young, you or people younger than you, like that are like a lot of those bands, except for like Dashboard, Seosin, a couple of those, like not a lot of them were huge on my list. So like that actually doesn't scratch a ton of itches for me personally.
You didn't really. You were always in more of like the fat, like. If it came to Warp Tour bands, you were always into the more Fat Records bands, and I was always into the more like Epitaph, Rise Records, Victory Records types bands. Bands. We're both talking stupid today.
You should have. I love Mike, you dumbass.
But yeah, no. So yeah, you always leaned more over to like Side One Dummies and Fat Records. I always lean more over to Victory and Epitaph and shit. But
that being said, it's weird that like the Distillers are in there out of nowhere, and also what was the other one I saw? Again, like 303 was like, it's kind of a weird one to have like with like I'm gonna go check out Dashboard, and then I'm gonna go check out 303. But like that is like Dom's like the Super Soaker special. Like she would go there and fucking cream her fucking jeans the entire time.
Yeah, no, I think 303 is one of those bands that doesn't sound like any of the other Warped Tour bands, but they still fit in that same department. It's weird. It's one of those things that doesn't make complete sense on the surface, but it was just what it just is what it is. You know what I mean? So that's cool on the surface, but I gotta be honest. I had like a mixed feeling about that. Because I was thinking about it, and that's pretty sick if you're like obsessed with the band. But if
Yeah.
you're not, and from my perspective, I mean like obsessed. Like when I went to go see Run the Jewels, I went to go see two shows. They did on the first one, they did Run the Jewels 1. On the second show, they did Run the Jewels 2. And I've talked about it a bunch of times before on here. I am obsessed with Run the Jewels. So when they were doing the full album,
Yeah.
it was fucking great. But even then, there was like one or two songs where I go, all right, a little bit of a dip right here. But I remember when I went to go see Newfound Glory a couple years ago in Atlantic City, they did all of Sticks and Stones. And I'm a big Newfound Glory fan. That's like my favorite Newfound Glory album, Sticks and Stones. But even watching that album, like the last 4 songs, I remembered, I go, oh yeah, I never really made it this far.
Yeah.
And I listened to Newfound Glory a lot. And
Yeah.
even on them, I was like, oh, I've never really made it this far. So to me, I would way rather almost any of those bands do like a greatest hits over a full album anytime. Because here's the reality of most albums. The reality of most albums is you have an intro song that's fine. Then you have about 4 to 5 if we're lucky, bangers, a weird interlude where they pretend like they know how to play piano. And then the end of the song, the last half of the album is the first half of the album, but just like an 8 instead of a 10. So 9 times out of 10, I'm just going to want to go out there and it's like, dude, just give me the best offering from every album.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of times where I hear bands say like, yeah, we had this left over from another album or something like that, or we didn't want to put this on an album, so we had it on the B side or some shit like. And it's like when you hear shit like that, it's not a bad thing or a good thing, but that's why it makes like perfect albums stand out so much, because those are the ones that I get excited for, the ones that I love from front to back.
Yeah.
We just went to see Fall of Troy play I think it was self-titled at Underground Arts a couple months ago.
Yep.
And and they were like, that's actually a good example of one of those albums where I'm like, not all of these are my absolute favorite. I'm glad that they mixed in a couple other ones also, but from front to back, this is a great I was just thinking about this Friday night, I think it was either Thursday or Friday night. I was driving. We just got Dom and I just got tickets to see this band Lucius. They're it's
Heard
actually
of them.
yeah, it's just 2 broads that sing and with a great backup band. I don't know actually if they're a band or if it's the 2 broads, but either way, they wonderful, talented ladies.
I feel like Lucius is a good name for a black dude who runs a mob in like a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Lucius.
Lucius is is essentially like he's a shopkeep, but he's also a wise mentor to a lot of assassins in a underdeveloped neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Teaches you how to curve a bullet.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I think Lucius is like brilliant.
He
yells,
"Shoot this motherfucker!"
Yeah, he's got a foul mouth too. You know what I mean? But they're doing a tour where they're gonna do their entire album.
You're talking about the broads, right?
Yeah, the broads, Lucius. The broads, Lucius, not the mob guy. And
not the thing I made up.
we don't know that. We don't know if it's made up. Hey, we're hands free, baby. Anything's possible. So they're doing a tour where they're doing their entire album Wildewoman, which has a lot of the album or a lot of the songs on the album I fucking love. And they're bangers. I think they're great songs. They have like great pop songs, great singer-songwriter songs, great just regular fucking, I don't know. I guess there would be folk. Folk would be the best way to describe them. But they have really great songs, but like that album, it lags a couple times.
Yeah, that most
where I'm like, this is where I would go get a beer. This is where I'm going to go to the bathroom. This is, you know what I mean? Like,
and here's the reality of it. Most albums lag towards the last like 40% of it.
Yeah, it's hard.
They're still fine. That's what I always said about fucking Jesus Pieces album, So Unknown. It's a great fucking album. It's one of my favorite albums of this year. But like, it loses a little steam on the last 3. But that's most albums.
Right. Whereas, like, and then you say, like when we were talking to Tai Tai about Capra's album this year and how it builds kind of like perfectly. It gets to a point where it's like it kind of has a perfect crescendo. Like, not what is that? Not is that crescendo? I was going to use a word out of my. I ended up using it, Andy. I don't know if
Anus.
yeah, I used it. I pulled it right out of my anus, and I.
You were able to because you were hands free.
You know, what's this mean? And I go, does this work? Crescendo? When it reaches this whole fucking like it has a great climax at the end, and I feel like it's not like it's
The climax is what happened because you were going up in your ass and you realized that's where your G spot was.
You think you earned that sip? Is
that what you're dude?
Me? Hey, do you think you just earned that sip with that? You better work harder to get those sips, brother. I'll get Jesse Ventura in here. He'll do a whole album all over your face, brother.
Shut up, you FOMO homo. Go back to
I'll slobber knock you. I'll slobber knock you right. Nobody says that. Nobody says that they're going to slobber knock you out, but I'm going to do that.
That's not how that's used.
I know, but I'm gonna make it up. I'm gonna say that, and it's gonna happen now. So I'm hands free. I'm gonna slobber knock you. What's up?
This is why I know you're just a schizophrenic man going moment to moment. You go. No one uses I'm gonna go to a slobber, or no one uses I'm gonna slobber knock you. And then I go, Pat, that's not real. You're like, I know. That's why I'm gonna start it. I'm like, you're literally just making up things moment to moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thinking on my feet, Andy. Ever heard of it?
Being a dirty, rotten liar, drug addict.
Yeah, that's what I do a lot, Andy.
Yeah,
I lie about being dirty and drug addicted.
Can't believe you're dependent on that stuff.
You dependent piece of shit. Oh yeah. So, are you gonna go to the We Are Young festival? Is it going near you at any time soon?
No, that's like in Vegas, and it's fucking $1 million.
Oh my god! So is it the same place where that that thing happened? You know?
Oh yeah.
I
think you can't get the biggest ass ooting in the country.
And we are not joking about it.
And no one ever ox out it.
Yeah, it just kind of went away.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Yeah, I did that. I don't know pig black noise. I brought it up and I fucked up. You know what I mean, Andy? I'm not great at it.
Yeah, no, it's fucking it's what the fuck? Yeah, general admission is $325. GA plus is $550. $650 for VIP.
Is it multiple days or just one day?
That's a good question.
Because I was gonna say like $325 for all of those bands. That's not that bad. Because like as long as there's a lot of crossover, that's a really good. Again, much like an album, you'll have a couple bands where you're gonna be like, I don't necessarily need to check out Atreyu. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go hang out by the fucking. I'm gonna go get some lunch. You know what I mean?
It's 2 days.
And it's just $325. I wonder if that's $325 total, or if that's crazy. That's actually not bad, Andy.
Let's see. Each general admission ticket includes admittance to Las Vegas Festival grounds for When We Were Young on October 20th, plus the following. Yeah, I think it's just for a day.
Oh, yeah. Well,
but depending on how they. Why is it so fucking tiny? I can't see.
For anybody.
Oh no! Here's the thing.
He's talking about his penis. He pulled his penis out.
Here's the. Hey.
Why is it so
Wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute. Hey. No, it says second show added, same lineup each day. So you wouldn't need to go 2 days.
Oh.
It's the same show each day.
That's very Vegas. That is very cool. Like the fact that they're going to say same bands, same set, 2 days in a row, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like little mini residencies. I think I'm gonna go to this, Andy. Even though 99% of the bands, 100% of the bands, I don't want to see. I don't want to see any of the bands on the lineup, but I'll go to
None of them.
Nah, I mean, want to. I would go to that if somebody wants.
You wouldn't enjoy any of these bands. Here, let's bring it back up.
Bring it back up. I was like,
I think you're just being a hot dog.
No. I mean it. Like I've seen.
I think you are.
I would never joke about this.
Can I be clear, Pat? I think you're literally a hot dog. I've been wanting to bring up this point for a while,
I can't
and
argue.
I have the sneaking suspicion you are a hot dog, and we need to talk about this. No, it was funny. I was actually like shitting on My Chemical Romance in my head the other day, but I would still go see them do the Black Parade. Like, if I had money for this ticket, I would be pumped to be able to go see Black Parade. I mean, Data Remember's playing. Now, I would prefer they play their second album, but Homesick's their most popular album. That one's real, but it's a good fucking album.
So I would say Coheed and Cambria would be pretty cool, probably. August Burns Red, but I've seen August. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is like most of the bands I've seen.
You've seen them?
Yeah.
I would enjoy Under Oath doing their Only Chasing Safety because that's a pretty good album. Ooh,
Yeah.
All's Well That Ends Well. I was listening to that the other day, actually. I would really enjoy seeing that.
Is Dance Gavin Dance is on there. That would be good.
Yeah, we could confront Tillian about his crimes.
That fucking bastard. We could bring him to justice. Jimmy Eat World would be. I would say
we gotta stop. I actually like that band.
What, Jimmy Eat World?
No.
Dance Gavin Dance.
The Criminal. No.
Yeah. Murderous psychopath assaulter man. Allegedly.
Devil Wears Prada doing Plagues would be sick.
Oh, damn. I didn't even see Devil's Wear Prada. Okay, hold on a second, Andy. There's some of these bands that I'd like to see.
Nah, but if I'm being honest,
you were right.
I could probably count on two hands the bands I'd be genuinely excited. Like,
I can't. I got one hand.
My Chem. I mean, you got two free though, so I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Anybody just joining the show, I got two hands free because I got a lavalier mic.
My Chem, Data Remember. I don't even listen to them that much, but I would enjoy seeing Dashboard live.
No, you won't. They're not good.
I will. Stop.
It's not good. I've been there.
You think? Oh, your wife's gonna gush? I'm gonna gush, dude.
No, she'll. I'm saying this not out of jealousy. I'm telling you out of sheer fact. It's not fun. It's not a fun show. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it may be. You may like if you need a little release, and I'm not saying like. But I'm saying like I'm not saying a hands-free release, you know what I'm saying? But if you're looking for a little serotonin release out of your eyeballs, if you want to come clear tears from your eyes, Andy, I would go see Dashboard Confessional. But if I am building my little mini lineup, I'm going to go to Devil Wears Prada. I'm going to see.
Oh, that's cool. I'm not done yet.
Dance Gavin Dance.
Okay. We're still doing me. We're still doing me. Andy.
And then I'm gonna.
And then Under Oath.
August Burns Red.
Chiodos.
Chiodos. I think that would get Eoldos real quick.
Excuse me.
Oh, I turned my camera off.
What the fuck did you just say?
Just gotta go, man. I'm sorry.
No, seriously. What did you say?
I said I think that would get Eoldos real quick. And they would get old quick. I've seen Chiodos live too, and I didn't enjoy it either. Honestly, I'm just basing them on.
Why'd you say Eoldos?
Eoldos, because they would get old quick.
Why wouldn't you just say, "Oh, that would probably get old dose real quick"? That's not good either, but that's better.
Is it better?
That's way better, dude.
All right. Well,
so I would see Chiodos.
Next time it comes up, I'm gonna. Oh, wait, there it is, right there.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about that Wonder Years album, so I wouldn't care about that. I would like to go see August Burns Red live. That would get me hype. Thursday would get me hype. I do think actually, like, Ohio is for Lovers by Hawthorne Heights is an overrated classic. It is actually, if you go back, it's a shitty song. I don't need to see Atreyu live. That's fine. Fall Out Boy, hopefully they're playing old stuff. The Used would get me hype. Newfound Glory, Dance Gavin Dance.
Are they the only ones that aren't? You said that earlier. Are they the only ones that aren't doing that, Fall Out Boy, or are the only ones?
Looks like it, yeah.
That's weird. So what the fuck are they playing?
4 Year Strong would be hype. Probably Each Other's Dicks. And then Devil Wears Prada. So there are only, this is a stacked lineup, so to speak, but for me, there's like 13 bands I'm excited for, and probably only about 6 that I'm like, oh shit. Because that 4 Year Strong album rules, but I already saw them recently, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, what would be a band? What are your like front to back bangers of albums?
I feel like it would be pretty similar to a lot of those bands, but a little bit again, like a little bit older. So like, or not even older, I don't think. Like Thrice would be cool to see them do like Artist in the Ambulance, or like, or even Visu. I really liked Visu a lot. And I don't know if it's as
Yeah,
popular that they would do that full, like from front to back, but Artist in the Ambulance would be really cool. Norma Jean, oh God, the Aftermath would be cool front to back. I really did like that one from front to back. Like, is that what you're talking about? Like this, like from when we're what is it? When we were young, festival.
no, I'm just saying in general. Like, what bands, what albums would you like to go see front to back?
I refused. Shape of Punk to Come would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Damn.
I know.
There's some pretty cool, like pretty solid like albums from dude, Dillinger Escape Plan, One of Us is a Killer from start to finish would be really cool. That would be a
Yeah,
really
but
like
they'd have to be at a good venue. Like when we went to
yeah.
go see Jesus Piece,
Hmm.
because I'm not going to see Dillinger without a next level high quality sound tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I need the clearest, crispest sound to go see that band live.
Yeah, it would need to be like perfect. Like the kind of a perfect like scenario. I feel like dude, I honestly there's like a ton of bands like that that would be it would be really cool to see like it sounds weird. It would be really short, but like Leftover Crack or Choking Victim. I
Yeah.
feel like maybe it would be a better one from start to finish. Their main album that they put out the full length. I feel like that would be a really cool one, but it would have to be like they would probably have to do a couple albums because it would be like
Yeah.
a full set from start to finish. And one that I have seen, like I'll end with one that I have seen, Between the Buried and Me Colors live
Yeah.
is
Ooh, that's a
fucking
good one.
awesome. That was
That's a good
awesome.
one.
What about you?
Looking at this list, thinking about bands like on this list, I would probably want to see 4 Year Strong do Rise or Die Trying front to back. It's not technically their first album, but to most people, it's their first album. You know what I mean? What else was I thinking? I would actually love to go see Real Big Fish do something. They just popped in my head. I used to go see them all the time. I haven't seen them in a while. Their older shit was always a fun time live. Oh, actually, off this list, because I used to listen to them a bunch back in the day, I War All the Time by Thursday would be a good one front to back. And this just randomly popped into my head. I could go see what's the fuck? Oh, Strictly Rude by Big D and the Kids Table. That was an album I listened to a lot in high school.
Yeah.
And I would love to see that album front to back because that Big D is a notoriously underappreciated ska band. They are fucking fantastic and just never really got, there was like that post, like when I was in high school, there was a little bit of, it was like the tail end of the third wave ska craze. There was a lot less, because during the third wave ska craze, it was a bunch of bands that it was a bunch of ska bands that had the sound like they'd be the band playing at the prom in the high school rom-com movie. It would be that kind of band. And then you got a bunch of ska bands that were way more punk influenced and, gave less of a fuck and weren't as cheesy and stuff. And there was a bunch of good ska bands on that wave. And Big D they had some shit going, but the love of ska is only, mass love of ska is a very fickle thing. So they definitely just, and even in the world of ska, I always felt like Big D never got the appreciation they deserve because they were such a good fuck. I mean, they're still active. They just put out an album like a year or two ago, but they're a really good fucking band. I would go see Strictly Rude live. That's a good fucking time. Yeah, there's a decent amount of bands. I was saying, A Day to Remember, their first album, I'd go see that live.
A band that I feel like would be an album that would be really cool to see, and kind of in that same line that you were talking about, Big D not getting the appreciation that you feel like they deserve. Strung Out would be a really cool. Strung Out, Exile, and Oblivion. That album it's not like their first one or anything like that. I think that's by this point it's probably like 4 albums back, maybe something like that. But it was like it was a perfect fucking album, and it was really I feel like it was like laid out really well, and it didn't really get boring throughout. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, that would be a really cool one to see. I'm actually surprised that I haven't seen any kind of like tour with that. Like maybe they're not on board with like maybe they're still trying because this is a thing with I wonder about some again with like some bands Motley Crue or whatever that would like announce their farewell tour and then like they would do like reunion show and they just kind of like were still touring but not really putting out a lot of new music or anything. I
Yeah.
wonder if like certain bands feel like it lessens them a little bit if they're an active band to do those tours. But I feel like it's good like filler.
I don't think
like,
so.
go out
I've
and make
seen a
some
lot
money.
of I've seen a lot of semi-active bands do those 10, 20. I think it's easy money for bands like that.
Gotta be, yeah. And you can still play like you have a longer set than probably the album length, so you can play
Well,
other songs if you want. But
depending on the album, it's actually like a better show. Cause I was joking about Newfound Glory, but like they played Sticks and Stones. That's bangers for most of the album. It gets a little slow towards the end, but the album's like what, 30, 40 minutes? They
mhm,
still gotta fill the hour plus. So then they just because they don't have as much time after the album's done,
yeah,
they can only really play hits.
yeah, you can
So
use
it
it as a
actually ends
warm-up.
up being a way better show depending on the album.
Yeah, you can use that old album if you're kind of tired of play because at that point you're probably I feel like what was there were bands that was like a band that was like that was like we're not going to play anything off our first couple albums. Wasn't it Brand New? Well, now they're not playing any songs off of any
I don't
album.
know.
But you know what I mean?
Well, did the songs get too old? One I completely forgot.
Yeah.
You know who I'd like
what's
to
it called? Brand New. They were like, hey, he's like, what's the name of the festival? Who was young? Oh, oh, okay. I thought it was when they were young. All right.
Wait, what's the festival called? There's a bunch of them that are young there without their parents.
There's some kind of young festival.
We're all a bunch of youngins festival. I think we're gonna go play at that.
They're coming around.
No, the one I would really like to go see is I'm surprised I didn't mention this, but I would love to see Gallows. I would love to see them play live because did I tell you the age old? It's why I've never fully loved my brother. Is we were gonna go to Warped Tour the year that they were playing Warped Tour, and then like it was the day of or the day before. I forget exactly why, but he's like, yeah, I just don't want to. I think he was like, I'm tired, I don't feel good, or something. And I was like. And I was upset. I mean, I'm still obsessed with Gallows, but I was like, they were brand new to me. Yeah. So I was fucking obsessed. And then that ended up being one of the last times their original singer, Frank, was in the band. Yeah. Now, thankfully, I got to go see them once, but I still would have loved to see them do Great Britain. That's the album this is from. I would love to see them do Great Britain specifically with Frank in the band. And I do love when Wade was in the band. That was their second lead singer. I loved everything they put out. But just, you want to go see the album with the singer who was on the album. Because that album front to back is a fucking good fucking time. And then at the very end, it's not the last song, but that Misery is in my opinion, is one of the best like punk hardcore crossover songs because it's very straightforward, to the point. They give you a little bit of everything you need in those songs. They give you some punk shit. They give you a two-step part, and they give you a long-ass breakdown at the end. It's a perfect punk song, in my opinion. But yeah, I'd kill to go see Great Britain live.
Who?
Gallows.
No, who would you kill?
Anyone you need me to, dude, buddy.
Name names. Can we get a list together? Let's work something out. I think you can email them. Hey, it's a lot more likely than fucking Operation Ivy. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's weird when bands like switch lead singers in general, but I do understand with like British people, as long as they have the same accent, it's pretty much the same. You know what I mean?
Well, I was talking to Steph about this because I was listening to Gallows getting annoyed because back then I do think the fans kind of killed the band
Yeah,
because they were too married to the fact that Frank was the lead singer. And in my opinion, two things killed the band. The fans killed the band because they were too married to the fact Frank was the lead singer, and they just couldn't get over that there was a new guy in the band. And two, so I love Wade. He's the guitarist of Alexis on Fire. Wade McNeil. I fucking love the dude. I want to kiss him.
fucking marry him, then, you
I have
puss.
sent him hair, and I go be
Mine
my
and other
boyfriend.
people's. Some of his hair. I get some of his hair, and I go, look, this is how close I've been.
Every week I send him a new poem. I love him.
Yeah, right. Obviously.
No, he ruled in the band. I thought it was sick seeing like a big guy front this cool punk band, all this other shit. Like I felt camaraderie with the other big dude being in the band and shit like that. But I was always like, you're a British band.
Yeah.
Why did you hire a Canadian? You know that's a different country. Like
Yeah.
I was like, there were no British punk singers. It always felt so weird to me that they randomly just got this Canadian dude to be in a band. And I was like, I feel like it would have been a lot easier as a band to get a British dude that because here's the reality of the situation. Frank was a big personality in Gallows, but at the end of the day, it's like he wasn't that good. He screamed a bunch. He didn't like have that unique of a fucking voice. It was the personality behind it that really like drove home what was going on.
Right.
You know, you could get a dude to scream over punk music. It's not like he was doing anything fucking magical.
Yeah, I feel like so for me, there is I think we brought this up before, like where it's weird that there's certain members of the band. It's the Dave effect. We talked about that. That's what it was. That was when I brought up the Dave effect. Whenever a band loses a Dave, they go down in value as a band. If the member of the band is named Dave, then
Yeah.
it's more dangerous for the band.
Oh, I remember this. When we were talking about this?
It was we clipped it, I think. Even it's like a
I know, but I'm saying now, when were we talking about this?
I was talking about when Dave Brocky died in Guar, the lead singer of Guar.
That's
and then
right.
We replaced him, and it's that same thing where like sure, like you can have another person come sing for Guar, but like the guy who Dave Brocky was is so unique and so original, like in that case. But if it's just like who's the band Killswitch Engage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
that's a hard one to replace.
That's a hard one to replace. You know what I mean? Like there's certain times where like you can't just switch out the band. But you're right. Like if it's like a British punk band, that's just the guys just going like, "Oi, Billy of a Shark," you know, all this other shit. You know what I mean? Like you're just.
I'm just saying from a logistical standpoint. I was being kind of a sassy boy, but like, you know, Frank fucking ruled in the band. But I'm just saying, it's not like from a vocal standpoint. Oh my god, he's so irreplaceable. It's a personality thing with that band. And I was always like, why did you guys not find someone in England near you? Like, there's a million people who can do that job.
Right. I mean, it could be. It's also a lot of times I think the bands, because it's also happens too when I talked about the drummer switch between Coheed, Gambria, and Dillinger Escape Plan. You kind of feel like the skill switch is kind of like totally different, but it's also like they're ultimately, I think all these bands are just friends.
Wait, sorry. Can I ask you real quick? The drummer from Dillinger went to Coheed?
Yeah. And I think they swapped. If I remember correctly, I think they swapped. They like traded drummers.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. This was years ago. But if I remember
interesting, because going from I was gonna say this, going from Dillinger to Coheed is probably the easiest transition ever. But going from Coheed to Dillinger is probably a lot.
Right, and that's what I mean. Is like it's kind of like I think a lot of times like these bands, they are on like festivals together. They meet each other, or they go on tour with each other. They have the same management or something like that, and they're just like, hey, you know, Brian from blah blah blah, he's looking for somebody. He's available this summer, and he would love to give you a commitment, blah blah blah. Like, it's whatever it may be. Like, there's probably some
Yeah.
kind of like management happening.
You know what I was thinking about? You were just talking about bands being in different bands and or meeting people, meeting other bands at like festivals and stuff. I had this theory. I was really wondering if bands did this shit because listening to all these hardcore bands that I love to listen to, there is a slew of, excuse me, the quote unquote like super group. So there's a bunch of, so the perfect example is that band End I was telling you about that has the lead singer. Sorry, I'm trying to bring up their Wikipedia so I can tell you who's in the band. But their lead singer of Counterparts is also has a band called End. And I was looking up the band, and everyone in the band is Brendan Murphy from Counterparts,
Yeah.
Will Putney, who is like a legendary hardcore producer, but he's also in Fit for an Autopsy. Gregory Thomas is in Shai Hulud. Their bassist, Jay Pepito, is in Reign Supreme. And their drummer, Matt Guglielmo, is in The Acacia Strain. So these are all, most of these bands are clearly those dudes' main band. And then
Right.
in between tours, they tour with End.
Right.
And but then I was starting to think about, so like a perfect example, so there's this band called X Weapon X. Let me
X
look
Weapon
down.
X Weapon X.
Yeah, like Weapon X from fucking X-Men.
You talking
But
about
they put
Logan
in
Man?
what?
You talking about Logan Man?
Yeah, X-Men.
Got it.
But they put the X on the front to be like, we're also straight edge. But
Okay.
yeah, wait, I found this article. Yeah, Knock Loose member Isaac Hale and Brian Garris and drummer Trey Garris, who also play with Isaac in yeah, and even the dude Isaac from Knock Loose is in this band called Two Witnesses. They're in X Weapon X and yeah, so I started noticing all these hardcore bands, they're all in hardcore bands with other people in bigger hardcore bands. And then
Yeah.
I started noticing, so a band like X Weapon X, they're in that scene, they're kind of popular, but they don't tour. They just do like all the hardcore festivals. And then I started wondering, I was like, I don't know if they're consciously doing this, but I wonder if that's a way for them to make extra money.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, is Knock Loose and Mortality Rate and these other bands, are we all playing LBD Fest or LDB? I always forget what it's called. Are we all playing LBD Fest? What if a couple of us just started a few other bands so we could get paid twice? Now,
Yeah.
I'm sure they're also writing the music because they like, they want to try out different stuff, yada yada. Like Brian Garrison and Knock Loose, he plays bass in X Weapon X, so he probably wants to also be like, yeah, I want to play an instrument sometimes. But I guarantee you, there is a little part of them where they're like, but when the fests come up, like when they do Sound and Fury in California, when they do Furnace Fest, they're always like, also, I'm gonna get paid twice,
Right.
and I'm like, I don't know if they're consciously doing that, but I go, that's kind of smart.
Yeah, I think that's what it is when, like, obviously when it's not like a death or something like sad like that. But even still, there's probably a little bit of like a, hey man, if you need somebody, I can help you guys out or whatever. I think Guar was probably something similar to that also. Like, I'm sure most of the members didn't always want to spend their entire life, like dressing up like big old space goblins and playing metal music in front of like pretty small clubs. Like they in my opinion they could have played way bigger things, but a lot of times I think they were like, well, we want to go on big tours, we want to play with bigger bands and stuff like that. So they would, I think you're right, there's like a level of that, because the same thing with with my newest favorite band, Mutoid Man,
Yeah.
where each one of them is part of other bands, and they also, like, those bands share members with other bands. Like, there's like a really big crossover between like Converge, Cave In, Botch,
Yeah.
Mutoid Man, High on Fire, like all those bands, like they share so many different members, it's like a bunch of fucking Operation Ivies out there. You know what I'm saying?
I guess just the specific question I'm asking. I wonder how many of those dudes actively start. I wonder how much of their thought of starting another band, how much of that is like, yo, if I can play 2 sets at LBD Fest, I
Yeah.
can get paid twice as much money. I'm always like, yeah, I don't know. I just noticed that. I'm like, dude, if that's why they're doing it, that's kind of clever. And like the bands are good, so who the fuck cares?
Yeah, it's probably like a win-win. It's like one of those things like if you
Kill 2 birds, 1 stone. You get to be in another fun band, and then you also get to have a second paycheck.
yeah, if let's say you host multiple podcasts, right? Like say you're co-host on multiple podcasts and there's a podcast festival coming up and both of your podcasts got on the same festival, you would, and like you said, in theory, you should be getting paid twice. You should be getting twice the amount of gift bags. You should get the twice the amount of hotel rooms. You should get twice the amount of car rentals, plane tickets,
Twice the amount of free beers.
twice the amount of free beers. And you know what? You're actually going to quadruple that because I'm not going to drink any of the beers. You can have my beers. So, you know what I'm saying? Like Andy,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying is that if we can get on like a podcast festival coming up or something like that, that would be really cool.
I do want free beers, so we'll get on that.
Free merch too. Send us merch. We'll
So
wear it.
so Pat, we're here to knock it off. Knock it the fuck off.
What do you fucking want, man? I'm hands free, brother. I'm
So-
doing things. I got some taxes I got to go over.
So here, Pat, we're here to talk about music, give our opinions, just create a better world.
Of course.
But we're also here to do an important thing. And that's lay down the fucking law. It's time for Pit Police.
Oh my god.
Oh, I thought that would have been a lot better.
It's weird that they have the picture. They're like, this is what cops sound like.
I didn't mean to just have a background siren.
Some
But it's
dickhead's pulling
time.
his phone out his window.
That was an awful laugh. What the fuck was that?
It's police time, guys.
It's Pit Police time. This was an interesting case that we have to take apart.
I'm ready for some justice. Whoop, whoop.
What up, Tony?
He's making a police sound.
Here we go. So you might miss this, but just watch.
Let's see.
Pay attention to this joker over here.
He's got a pretty good. He's another nice camera in the pit.
Yeah. Okay. You're picking up. You're smelling. You got the pit sniffing dogs ready,
Mm-hmm.
and then kick the phone. Did you see what happened?
Yeah.
This dude goes in front, and this chick right here, fuck you. And I gotta read the caption for you. Put the fucking phone down, you retards are so annoying.
Is that? That'd be so funny if that was her.
Yeah, how you playing on the phone when you should be dancing, Andrew Vacancies. But yeah, this incessant urge to just record every moment is like, this is crazy to me, to be perfectly honest. Like, it's also ironic. Shout out, who is this? This isn't Stay Thick. What's this fucking YouTube channel called? I subscribe to them. They're one of the like Hate Six type YouTube channels.
Oh yeah.
Not Feet First, although Feet First Productions, shout out them. Oh yeah, it's just 197 Media. 197 Media,
Okay.
shout out them. But yeah, it's so ironic because it's like you have the Hate 5-6 guy at the show, not the literal one, just the Hate 5-6 type guy recording the high quality show, and you're just in there like a fucking jerk off getting your little action shot. And I gotta be perfect.
It's funny how
Now-
he followed him too. He knew something. This seems like a plant to me, Andy. This might be a plant because
You think this is a crisis actor?
I think this might be crisis acting, and I think this is because they saw the success of all of our other Pit Police videos. It's including
The one.
don't bring your $6,000 camera to a fucking retard festival.
Oh yeah, don't bring your $10,000 camera to Retard City.
Right, like you can't. So let me play devil's advocate. We're gonna play good cop, bad pit cop. Okay. Maybe this guy fucking runs their social media. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you have obviously you have the professional person documenting with the good camera, safely out of the way. By the way, we appreciate that as well. Out of pit range, out of the way in general, right? But
Yeah.
this guy, I don't know if this is necessarily just another crowd member. He could be somebody that actually is maybe doing some kind of content for the band themselves, because I
Well,
haven't really seen this too many times at shows. Also, the pit isn't super duper busy, and also I think she missed the phone.
well,
That's my
yeah,
favorite part, by the way.
I think well I was watching that, like, I would have laughed harder if she kicked the phone, but she just kicked him in the face.
Well, okay, so that's what I was going to ask that. I wasn't sure if she either missed the phone or missed in general everything, because she kind of did like one of those little, like, when you like don't get full, you don't swing it back all the way, but you kind
Yeah.
of just do a little pony kick where you just go like like that. She kind of like whipped her foot forward, but she had a good kick right before it. So
Yeah.
I think she pulled the kick a little bit, and that brings me to my second point, Yana. I think that this could possibly be just looking for the clicks, because the fact that the cameraman, the professional cameraman, was following the dildo cameraman as he was going across the pit, and then stopped right as and like almost like he knew it was coming. You know what I'm saying? Like he just stopped on those
Mm,
two, and then she kind of like
yeah.
looks, and then she goes, and she didn't really.
You're saying the destruction of the phone was a controlled demolition. That's what you're
Yes.
trying to get at.
There was,
Yeah.
if we slowed it down, you could actually see an explosion in her knee that actually kept her from giving a full
There's
kick.
an explosion in the phone right before the foot hits it.
There's a little control, and also I think there was a recording. I did hear a recording of talking about planted bombs or something like that. There's a newscaster that says
Well,
something about an explosion.
so if you actually this is funny that you say that, because if you actually at the end of the video you zoom in and you look, if we could enhance it, if you zoom in right back here, you see 4 dancing Israelis. Just, and
Telling you.
which just makes me think it was pre-planned the whole time.
They were back there picking up loose change.
My guy, a missile hit his phone.
But no, but seriously, I feel like she has a good kick rhythm. She has a really good, she's got a like good momentum and everything, and she like spots
Yeah.
him, and like she goes to face him to do it to him, but like totally pulls the kick. So either she's a puss
She definitely pulled the. Well, it
or it's
also
a
too.
plant.
There is a part of it where. Have you ever been there where someone is being pitiful and they almost deserve a beating, but like it's so sad and pitiful if you actually beat their ass.
Yeah.
Like I remember I got into it. I got into it with this comic one time a while ago, and I remember he was like pissing me off, but there was part of me that was like, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a dude who's gonna like go out of my way to fucking start a fight, but he was getting me pissed off. But it was also it's pissed off to the point where I was like, I want to hit you right now, but it was just words. But
Yeah.
I was like, dude, if I swing on this dude, every version of the story, I'm gonna seem like the fucking bully.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not fucking worth it. But
This
yeah,
but
I don't what?
it's almost like when you catch yourself halfway through an invasive thought, like you're about to do something and you're just like, no, 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 I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do
Yeah,
that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you're like, no,
yeah.
no, no, I can't. Like she like looks almost. So that's the only like credit I would give her, is maybe it was like halfway through this kick, she's like, I can't do it. But I feel like if there is any substance to what I'm saying, I feel like there is a possibility, one, of maybe, because also like if the band doesn't acknowledge him, I feel like this would be a much more satisfying video if like the lead singer just like put his hand on the back of his neck and just pushed him forward into the pit. That
Well,
would be
yeah.
way more satisfying or something like that. Just like not
That's a hard
gently.
one. That's a hard one in the moment because it happens so quick and the band has to perform. And I guarantee you, because I've seen a bunch of those types of videos where the band kind of waits a couple Mississippi because they're like, is this going to get resolved on its own? Like
Yeah.
I still have a job to do up here. I don't know. Hopefully he didn't break his phone, but I definitely enjoyed watching that because it's just like, Because here, Tonye had a comment down here where he was saying it's true. I hate phones during a show. I think he meant to say I stand in the very back and I feel like a douche pulling my phone out for a quick pic. I couldn't imagine being a dickhead in the pit trying to record. So for me personally, I'm not anti-phone during the show, but phone in the pit is retarded.
Yeah.
Don't like it's stupid as shit. Now, like, cause I've been there every single time. You're at the show, you're having fun. You get this like, I want to show people I'm at the fun thing, yeah. And all this other shit. So yeah, pull out your fucking phone. But in the pit, trying to do your fancy little thing, it's so fucking annoying. And I do find it very funny when she kicks them.
Yeah, a lot of times, I mean, honestly, like, and bands love this. Like, I'll pull my phone out and I'll just start live streaming the show. Like, I'll put out. Like, I'll hold it and I'll just play, like, have it facing the stage, like, for pretty much the whole show, just in case, just for anybody that missed, like, because I know bands don't want their fans to miss out on the show if they can't get tickets or something. So I just, like, I'll stream it on YouTube or on Instagram or both.
Yo, I know you're being funny, but it is, like, when I was talking about pulling your phone out during the show, I was referring to you pull it out, you record your quick little Instagram clip, and then you go back to the show.
Yeah.
And I know this has been talked about to death, but I got to say it again. The people who stand there the whole show with the phone, you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
People don't, that's the whole fucking, like, I always laugh when people overly do that. Like, they want to take 1,000 pictures. Like, I'll take pictures, but it's like, I'm going to see you guys again. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, we already took like 2. You don't need more than that. So these people who want to like over record the moment, I'm always just like, you don't think, I mean, you're not going to watch it back.
You're never going to watch it.
So, and it's like, you're going to remember all the good shit that happened anyway. Yeah. And I got to be honest, you ever like, bro, one of the most fun experiences when you like go back and meet up with old friends and they tell you a story that you completely forgot about, but the second they tell you it, you remember it.
Yeah.
And it's like you got to kind of do it a second time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. People just
get to experience it again. Like, you got to be like, oh, man, that was so much fun. That was a lot of fun. Holy shit, I forgot about that.
You know what I think there's comes from in me? I remember back in the day hearing Doug Stanhope talk about comics stealing jokes. And he's like, I don't like it, but I never got bent out of shape about it, because he's like, if they stole a joke, he's like, I'll just go write a better joke.
Yeah.
And so I was always like, oh yeah, if we missed this, I was like, well, let's run it back and do it again and have another fun time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, it's about maintaining. It's also perspective, like realizing like, oh shit, this was a lot of fun, and you're not going to gain any more perspective by videotaping more of the show. You're going to have like this thing of like, it's like you said, it's either going to just be like, there was a cool thing where Dom, I feel like she held on to my phone when I went to see Refused when they their first show back on their first tour back from, since they broke up like 13 years before or whatever. And we went to that show, and I gave her, you know, like most shows, I gave her my glasses and my you know, any delicates or anything like that, so she can keep an eye on them while I fuck things up in the pit, obviously, because I'm a fan. And this show was going to go crazy, so I gave her like everything. So she took a ton of pictures with my phone, because I think in her case, she didn't really know what I would want documented, or if I would want how much I would want documented. And she ended up taking a lot of really good pictures, but still, like, I could tell from even like because she like left it, obviously she left it all on my phone.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like for any point there was like a whole song or anything like that. She would be like a little bit of a video, you know, a picture of them like bowing after, you know, stuff like that. Like, those are the things, like, yeah, you can capture those moments or something like that, but videotaping the whole, and since then I've actually looked up, and some dickhead at that show recorded the entire show from start to finish And I was just like, what is this for? And I fucking watched like 45 minutes of it. It's just like one of those things of like, I appreciate like the thought of like, of like you and Tony and stuff, like people like that share that. But it's also like, as long as they're not in the way and they don't get bent out of shape if you fucking kick their phone out of their hand. But I think in a case like this, where it's just like a dude walking past somebody and then her just going like, it's hilarious, but it's
So
also
funny.
like it's just one of those things of like that would be funny in any scenario. If somebody
Yeah.
was just at a mall and they're just walking by holding a phone, like filming stuff, and then just somebody just goes bam and kicks it right out of their hand. This is a funny
Yeah,
scenario in
that's
any
funny
situation.
every time. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Where do babies come from? No. It is. Wait, what the fuck was I gonna ask?
I was
Sorry.
gonna say Palestine,
No, that's
not 40 of them.
as we're where babies go away.
I can tell you where
forever.
40 don't come from anymore.
Oh yeah. I remember what I was gonna say. You ever hear, like, I'm really curious on your perspective on this, because you ever see the thing where they'll show a video or they'll post a picture and everyone's got their fucking phone out and stuff, and then you always see the comment that they're like, "Oh my god, put your phones down and just enjoy the show." I
Yeah.
hate when people, and like, there's a part of me that I always look at that and I go, is it affecting my time at the show?
Right.
And it's like almost never is. Like people with their phones out. So like whenever I see that, I always go, I couldn't fathom caring about like, so like if a phone's in my way, I give a fuck. But I couldn't fathom giving a shit what some guy I never met, if he's having a good or a bad time, if he's getting the most out of it. I don't fucking care how good of a time that guy's having. It's like to me, and I feel like that might come off like some dickhead shit, but to me it's like, who the fuck are you giving so much of a fuck over how someone else is having fun?
And
fuck off. Let
this
them ruin their night if they want to. Are you having a good time? Worry
Right.
about that shit.
This is the thing is like people give the note all the time, like you just said, like put your phone away, be in the moment. They always use that, be in the moment. Well, I got to tell you, Andy, I've been way more annoyed by somebody that was just a little too in the moment. Somebody that was singing louder than the band. That fucking annoys. I don't give a shit how many phones you have in your hand. If you're singing louder than the band, I want to punch the fuck out of you. I want to kick you in the face just like this lady. So
that's such a good point.
You're the lead singer, or that you're in the band, or that and I've been that guy. I've been the guy that's fucking. If you're in the pit, scream away. You have fair. You've earned it. You earn whatever. A lot of like wild ass behavior is accepted in the pit because you're earning it. You're having to go in there and actually battle for the fact that you want to scream the song as loud as you can and run around and punch people and push them over and all that stuff. But like, if you're just that dickhead that's even closer to the back where you're just like, and I told you, like, shut the fuck up, dude. Nobody paid to hear you. It's one of those things where if that person was just standing there going like, and they were just holding their phone up, I don't give a fuck. It's one of those things that I do agree. Like, you're not really going to do anything with that video. It's probably going to sound like shit. You're not even looking at it, so you don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a fuck?
I slightly disagree with you, because I'm curious what show you're thinking of when you say that, because when we went to go see Run the Jewels, we were literally in the, like, it was actually a good spot. We were all the way in the back, but it wasn't a huge venue, so we still had a good shot. But the show was loud as shit, and everyone's all fucked up and high, so we're all screaming at the top of our lungs. Were you at, like, was it when Thrice was doing their weird fucking acoustic bullshit?
No. I mean, this is a couple different things. It's whenever the band that it's like, let me say, Rancid, Ruby Soho.
Okay.
Like last time I saw Rancid, it was I think it was at when I went to see. I think it was like a punk and drublic festival or something. I can't remember exactly where I just saw them. I think it was something like that where it was like a little mini fest. It was like almost like
Oh,
one
and
of
you're
those,
like outside.
yeah, and it was outside, and it was like it's the
See, that's funny. Not to cut you off, but
like that
that's
part. Like,
so funny because if you're outside, it's so obvious if you're being too loud.
right. That's what I'm saying. And like the whole crowd is singing Ruby So Hot. I'm like, just shut the fuck up. I want to hear that gravelly piece of shit voice
Not play the guitar.
not play the guitar and just fucking sing terribly. That's what I just want to like. It's one of those things where like and, unless the band and this is the thing, if the band, the lead singer puts the fucking mic out there, or they go, you guys, or anything, if they refer to you, yeah, it's just like a comedy show. You're not part of the show until you're asked to be a part of the show. Okay.
Yeah.
You're a fan and you cheer and you go, hey, we're having a good time. Let's have a great time. But if you're sitting there screaming, and you're right, a lot of times it is for it, like Thrice, especially, dude. I'm telling you, listen to Thrice's. I think it's Live at the House of Blues. It's their first live album that they put out, and I think it's a double album even. And there is that, like, the clapping fucks the timing of the song up sometimes because
I've
they
heard
can't
that.
match
I've
up.
heard that a bunch of times on
And
live albums. People fuck up the clapping.
They
Yo.
did another live album, and at some point there, like, it starts to happen again, and Dustin Kensrue goes, follow the hi-hat, and like he's just like, you guys, if you want to fucking do that shit,
That's so funny.
do it on time. If you're gonna participate in the song, sing in key or shut the fuck up.
Yo, I gotta bring up Tonye's comment because
Oh yeah.
this just makes me laugh based off me being all like obnoxious and loud. And he literally said, what was he saying? That's what I'm talking about. People will literally record the entire set rather than just live in the moment. And I was just being a loud fucking asshole. I'm not talking about you, Tonye. You're right.
Yeah.
Everyone else, though.
Yeah, no, not you. I mean, saying like the royal you.
No, I'm talking about people who like fucking suck, not people who fucking rule like you, Tonye.
People that subscribe and like.
Yeah, dude, not people who support the show and and watch all my videos. I would never shit on those people
Your favorite thing
accidentally.
If your favorite thing is to sing along, do it. You should be in the moment. You should totally be in the moment.
Bro.
I was just saying that. You guys didn't let me finish. You guys didn't let me finish. I was going to say,
I was saying I don't care, but like it's because I'm putting my phone away and being in the moment.
I'm doing it. Like I like, don't sing louder. I'm jealous of how louder you are singing than me because you sound so much better than me. That's what I'm saying. You guys talking about?
Hell yeah. So I wanted to bring this up to you, Pat. I may owe you an apology.
I knew it. You're gay.
I'm sorry for not sucking your dick, Pat.
For anybody not watching, Andy's pulled his penis back out of his pants.
I put it back in.
Put it back in.
No, I remember you. So remember when we were talking about the What the Fuck Is Up Denny's band, Let Live or Live Without?
Mm-hmm.
Let Live's a different band. Live Without, and you were saying, I don't know if I outwardly said this or not, but you were saying about like, here's a great idea. You guys buy a Denny's and you make that into a venue. And I was sitting here like, Pat, that's the dumbest idea you've ever.
You did say that out loud. You said it out loud. Like you actually yelled it, and then you ended the episode.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, Pat. I might have to eat my words.
Here we go.
They Live Without posted this on Twitter.
Humble over my hammy, huh?
Yeah, shut the fuck up. So they posted this. They said this get back is gonna be bonkers, and they got a Denny sign.
I knew it.
I mean, what does this mean, Pat?
I think this means, Andy, is a Denny's themed. Oh, what was I going to say logo. I don't know why I was going to say logo. Live Without venue. Wait, where'd I go?
Oh, sorry. My fault.
Where'd you send me? It was so dark. I felt like I was there for 15 years.
Where did I go?
I was gone for it felt like years. so dark. I was so cold.
Pat, it was only 2 seconds.
Does my lavalier mic still sound good?
How does my
Yeah.
lavalier sound in the upside down?
But I think this is a Denny's themed venue to come to wherever the fuck small town these dorks play. And I think maybe the first show may even feature one Blink 182. I guarantee it. Mark my words on this date, whatever the fuck it is, November something or other, you and I will be hearing about Blink 182, not 3, not 1. 182 is going to be playing at that Denny's themed restaurant slash event. If it's a restaurant too, that'd be even better. If they had a Denny's snack bar or Denny's Fest. Ooh,
Denny's Fest.
Get this.
Wow, what a great comment. That's what happens when you live in the moment, dude.
Put your phone away. No, I think if they had a you have Denny's like mini snack bar thing with like either like appetizers, you get them to cater or like have a little food thing in there. I feel like more venues really could take notes from hockey and or football venues, maybe even baseball. I don't know how their concessions are, but a lot of times if I go to a hockey game, like if you go to a hockey game at MSG, there is a I think it's a Katz's Deli, or it's one of one of the famous delis or whatever. You get a fucking
Katz.
roast beef sandwich, like one of those big motherfuckers at the fucking Rangers game.
That's pretty hype.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that I want a gigantic corned beef sandwich before I go see like As I Lay Dying or some shit like that, but like. I mean, like, I'm in my fucking late 30s now, dude. I want to see. You know what? I do want a corned beef sandwich when I go see As I Lay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they could do this. So if they have Denny's food at the venue, that'd be cool too. But
yeah, Tony is saying Tone's saying moons over my hammy sliders, ham and scrambled egg sandwich with Swiss and American cheese. I'd fuck that up, dude.
Oh,
I'll say this.
You looked it up.
Yeah, I double checked. I was like, wait, what's a moons over my hammy specifically? Can I say this, by the way, about breakfast sandwiches?
Please.
Because I live in the okay state of New Jersey.
Yeah, it's definitely a state.
What?
It's definitely a state.
It is absolutely a state. No, it's I like Jersey a lot, but it's just too expensive and people overhype certain things about it. But I will say that people are pretty bricked up for the fucking pork roll, and then if you want to do a next level of stupid, you argue over if it's called Taylor ham or not. I see. Here's the thing. That to me is like a conversational Confederate flag, and I'll explain what that is. Because people want to like get rid of the Confederate flag, and I will say this: I sympathize with some people who are sort of ignoring. You know, they ignore some historical context, right, and they're just like, "It's our logo. It's our logo." You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, I get it. It's your logo. You have fun. But generally speaking, the Confederate flag for me, I'm almost just like, yeah, dude, sport that so I can know who's lame to hang out with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I almost go, please have the Taylor ham and pork roll conversation so I can know to never be around you ever. Because if that's like, it's another one in Jersey, people outside of Jersey won't fully get this, but there's this, I don't know why, but there's this big debate whether if Central Jersey exists or not. And you know what I got to say to that? Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
And I will say this, though. Logically speaking, people refer to North Jersey and South Jersey. And South Jersey is very like, it's Philly, basically.
Yeah.
It's Philly and like the shore. And then North Jersey is a different thing than where I live. So
it's
logically,
it's like South Philly.
Yeah. So like logically, a center Jersey would exist, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it because I'm not a fucking moron. But yeah, it's like there's certain conversations people have that you're almost like, I'm glad you had that, so I know to avoid you. And that's the pork roll Taylor ham. But the main point I was getting at earlier was with like pork, people in Jersey cream themselves over pork roll and shit like that. And I got to be honest, and I know, shout out to Burger King, they're keeping this dream alive. But ham, just in general, ham, underappreciated breakfast meat.
Wow.
I'm gonna say it, dude.
I don't know.
You give me. Here's the thing, though. I do know, and I'm letting you know.
Well, I was just
you
no.
give
I
me-
don't think it's underappreciated. It is featured quite predominantly on the English muffin sandwich. What is it?
Where?
The Egg McMuffin.
But
Canadian
that-
bacon is ham. Canadian bacon is ham.
No, it's not. I'm
If you
talking about.
you're talking
I'm
about
talking
arguing
about
the same kind of ham. That's ham.
I'm talking about ham,
Well, a
not.
slice of ham, brother.
No, I'm talking about ham, not a derivative of ham, not a fucking cousin of ham, not a
Ham.
slackjaw yokel that meets up with ham on Christmas. I'm talking about ham.
This is going to be the thing we fucking end the show over. It's
don't give
ham.
a
It's
fuck.
absolutely ham.
Give me ham or end this goddamn show.
Hold on, I'm going to look up. Is Canadian bacon ham?
It is ham, but it's not ham.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna type it that way. Is Canadian bacon
Ham.
Hold on, let me see if it is ham in all print. Although Canadian bacon and ham are both pork products, it's a good thing I distinguish
Say it.
ham.
Say it.
They differ in cut, flavor, and texture. Cut Canadian bacon comes from the back of the pig, especially the loin, whereas ham comes from the hind legs or of the pig, specifically the rear and thighs. So it is literally a different type of pig.
Exactly, dude. I'm talking about.
Ham.
Where is it?
Oh.
Ham.
See, that's even thinner than slice. I'm like, never mind. You know what I mean? Like,
That's the point, dude.
Just give me a bacon, egg, and cheese. That's all I need. Give me a little bagel with a little bacon, egg, and cheese on it.
All right. Hey, free hands. Let's back it up. You're too close.
What do you say? You couldn't hear what you just said. I got all these hands here, man.
Knock it the fuck off right now. Pat, I'm going to ask you this question one time.
What's up, man?
Do me a big favor, and could you cut the shit?
You got it, buddy.
Cut it out.
I mean, you got it. I'm gonna sit back here.
That was nuts.
Turns out I do need something here to hold me back.
Or else you get real chummy with the fucking screen.
Put a ham on the screen. I'm gonna jump at it. You know what I mean?
Sorry, buddy. I did just put ham right in front of you.
So,
do you want
so
to?
the Denny's themed venue could be on the way. Are you following this band at all, or are we just seeing? Are we just gonna see? Do you think this is a retaliation to Blink-182? Do you think Blink-182 is gonna?
100%. Oh, 100% retaliation. And you know what the best part is? The best part is Blink-182 will at no point notice this ever happen. Whatever they do, Blink-182 will never notice any of it happening.
I agree with you, because if you remember the point I brought up when we were watching the Blink-182 video, it was the fact that I don't think Blink-182 is familiar with the meme. So like they're gonna be like, oh, did you hear those kids? They started a Denny's themed venue. They're gonna be like, kid, what are you what? Okay.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna be like, what do you mean? Like what kids? They're gonna be like, yeah, the kids from the the What's Up Denny's video. They're gonna be like, oh, that was a thing already. Oh, our manager just told us to say "What's up, Denny's" before we played the song for this video, and it was gonna be funny.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, how do you feel about what Live Without is doing? And they're gonna go, who?
Yeah, who? They're gonna be like the
Who are
Denny's.
you?
They'll be like, I don't. What do you?
Who are you talking about?
I don't know what you mean. So
All right, I got one more banger of a topic, but
okay, all right.
I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest, Pat. I said
close.
ham a bunch of times. I'd really like to grab a brewski. So do you wanna grab the steering wheel and drive this boat for a little bit?
You want me to start this close, or just gonna work that way? I don't know what Andy's topic's gonna be, but I'm sure it's gonna be something really hammy. I don't know. I think if there was also a way that they could have a themed like food band for every show, not every show maybe, but at least the opening show of that venue. I don't know. Either way, maybe the band Live Without. What was the name of that band? Live Without is going to do a music video there, much like what's her face's Blink-182 did. I don't know, but either way, it's going to be pretty sick to have. I think they could also do other themed restaurant, like how they do like a Taco Bell a KFC and a Pizza Hut all mixed together. They could do more, I think, crossover things like the same idea I was talking about with the hockey band or the hockey arena thing, where they have like
Yeah.
a chain restaurant and another live thing. I would love to see like a Chick-fil-A, fucking like outdoor venue or something like that.
Like Chick-fil-A and ice cream.
Chick-fil-A, yeah, and
That'd
not
be
that
good.
fucking Dippin' Dots shit, dude. I'm tired of that shit. I want to see
Dude,
like
Chick-fil-A, Ben and Jerry's.
yeah, Ben and Jerry's or that Cold Stone shit or the. Have you ever seen them where they fucking like fold it up or whatever? They put it on the thing and then like slide it down. With
Bro,
the,
if I could get some Chick-fil-A and then go over to a Cold Stone,
Yeah.
holy shit.
After a pit, like after a nice hot pit, go out and get a fucking soft serve or like a little cone or something like that. Just chill out. That'd be fucking cool as shit, dude. I think that would be really cool. It would also be you would have to make sure that you were servicing it regularly because there would be some real disgusting shit. Have you seen like most bars at venues? How disgusting they look a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
I grew up in some real fucking dank places, but
You know
had a-
what? You know what a good crossover is for me that I've been doing? Because I really, I think for a lot of people, something like a Diet Coke, it's not a pre 11 a.m. beverage. And I've been really like changing the rules on when you're allowed to drink Diet Coke. And for some reason, like we were talking about breakfast sandwiches before, were you just pretending to fall asleep?
I was reading the thing. He said, a nice cone would after a pit would hit the spot." I agree, Tony.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was reading. I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah."
No, your face literally was this. You were like, I was like,
I'm trying. Well, that's why I was worried about the lighting earlier because I wanted like it's sometimes how I have my I have my eyes open right now, but like how
Yeah.
I have my glasses, the glare it makes it look like I'm falling asleep.
It does look like you're falling asleep.
Hey, Andy.
Um,
Anyway,
No, but
go
I'll.
ahead, I'm listening. I'm listening.
No, we were talking about bacon, egg, and cheese. It's the obvious goated breakfast sandwich. Patrick, stop it! I don't.
My
like
eyes
to
are
eat-
open. I swear to God. I'm just
Even
too
though I
fat.
know, we'll adjust. Even though I know it's a joke, I don't like it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
There we go. That's better. That's what Daddy needs. No, fucking. Even we were talking about. All right, stop. We were talking about bacon, egg, and cheese is like the goated sandwich, and little life hack. Tell them to put a fucking hash brown on there. It's a good fucking time.
Yeah, of course.
But I gotta be honest. I don't know why, but dude, the Diet Coke and the bacon, egg, and cheese. I know it's not how you're supposed to start your morning, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah, there's something about like once I found out how
Bubbles in the morning, dude.
bubbles in the morning.
There's something about early morning bubbles. And I'll be honest, I try to keep it to these bad boys, the Liquid Deaths.
Yeah.
Sponsor the pod. I fucking love your product.
Dude, those are my favorite. Though their carbonated waters
them.
are legitimately like Perrier can suck my dick.
Dude, it's
Liquid
better.
Death, read my lips. Perrier can suck my fucking dick. Liquid Death is better than them.
Yeah, we are Liquid Death loyal, dude.
Also, if you're part of the same company, I apologize, and they are awesome, just like you guys.
Nah, that probably helps. They just need to sell shit no matter where it is. All right.
Yeah.
Let us get into this last topic because I found this clip and it made me a happy boy. So this gentleman, Matt Healy, which I'm not super familiar with, but I believe he used to date our girl Tay Tay, T Swift Taylor. He's
Taylor.
also he's Taylor. So he's in a popular band, I believe, called the 1975. Have you heard of them?
I have heard of them, yes.
Let me double check.
And you know what's weird?
I believe that's right. That he's in the 1975. Yeah, he's in the 1975.
That's really strange.
What?
I think because I heard about them I heard about them from people that are like huge Taylor Swift fans, and I'm like, did you just become a 1975 fan because like is that what it's gonna be? Like you're just gonna become a fan of anything that she connects herself to, and then like that's so it's like benefit. So she's like female Pete Davidson. Like anything her pussy touches, just like
I mean, yeah, that's how it works though, dude. But
that's awesome. Sorry.
So it's all good. But no, so he was at a concert recently, and we all know You brought it up. You were talking about during the Tai, not to be confused with Tay, but the Tai interview.
Yeah.
Israel Palestine is a topic of conversation, and I don't exactly know how this got brought up. But yeah, this was a very funny moment in reference to this Matt Healy guy and the Israel Palestine thing. So let's play this clip.
Well, from the comments, I thought that's what you did want.
Oh, also, for some reason, they're playing Subway Surfer on the Jumbotron at this concert. I have no idea why.
That's so fucking weird.
So wait, here.
We got to talk about it. People like me need to talk about Israel Palestine. I'm the guy, Brittany Broski, me, all those people are the people that you need. Well, you don't be a fucking idiot. But seriously, Japanese people.
I think that's a reference. I think that dude has actually gotten into like quote unquote trouble. I'm sure he said shit that would make us fucking laugh, but I
Yeah.
think he's gotten into like quote unquote trouble because he just talks for too long and he says certain things. And there has been times I've seen clips in the past where his band will just start playing because it's like, my guy, you're talking too long. But
Yeah.
I love the energy of that, and it's not even just celebrities, but like we need this in general.
Yeah.
It's okay to not know what the fuck is going on with a certain topic.
Right.
And it's like, but honestly too, especially with celebrities, like when you see these people, you haven't said anything about da-da-da. It's like, as a celebrity, you should be allowed to go, well, I don't know enough about the topic to comfortably speak public about it. So I don't know a lot about this Matt Healy guy. I know certain dorks think he's like toxic or whatever. I don't know. Everything I've seen of him, he seems chill. I don't know what his band sounds like. But no, and I'm pretty sure he's a pretty big celebrity and shit like that. But I just love seeing that shit from celebrities of someone actually going, I don't know. Like, it's a complex topic, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I think that's the same. It's not only it's like a self-aware view, but it's also like the fact of like, it's a very good point of saying like, you can also not know. Silence does not equal fucking violence, you idiot.
Yes.
Like you can't sit here and just say like, because that's the thing is if you have an uninformed view, or if you do take a side, or if you do say something like that, and also that doesn't necessarily mean I want to be educated on it either. Like I can look at something and go like, I don't agree with either side of it. It's weird to say that like, oh, these people are killing it's weird to say that you have, I guess I think the thing is like, if you yourself are a topic, like you don't necessarily have to have an opinion on another topic. It's kind of like saying like how like Coke doesn't have to have an opinion of Pepsi. Like once you don't have to necessarily, like you can just say like I'm just worried about the things that I'm doing. I have to perform. I'm doing this other stuff. Like I think that war is terrible. You know what I mean? Like you can also like, and a lot of people like may like, I don't know, man. I don't necessarily choose my artists because of their social and political views.
Oh, I wish more of them talked less about that stuff.
Yeah, and because
it's the same as when I know there was a lot of controversy over this, where it's like when you're watching football and you see in the end zone it just says like stop racism.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, like that's bad, obviously. But why is everything with all these social issues, why is it so autistic? It's like, I thought that was just a given, but you need to plaster it over the fucking end zone or in any of these different fucking things. Like, and it's not just football. I know I took like the typical fucking corny route with it, but it's like you could see it with anything. You're like, not everything has to be a political thing. Like, you can, because I guarantee, without trying, just going throughout your day, you open up Twitter, you go on YouTube, you open up Facebook, you check the news, you're gonna hear something about Israel Palestine. So why, for the 3 hours I'm at the 1975 concert, why do I have to now keep hearing about Israel Palestine? And it's like, I was actually talking about this. I wish I would have done the reaction with you. But there's this band called Filth. Have you heard of them?
Mm-mm.
They're very reminiscent of Amur, but they lean into the more like rap rock genre. Let me bring up the lyrics. But so they're a great band. They're fun. They feel like a modern day like Limp Bizkit with, you know, a heavy Amur influence and shit like that. But they had this one line in the song where it was something about like, oh yeah, he goes, I remember the days before everything had changed. Now we gotta watch what the fuck we say. And it's like that stuck with me so hard, where it's not just like you have to be, it's like I remember being younger. You could kind of say, now, you know, let's be real. You and me aren't as popular, so we could probably say some wild shit. And over the sheer fact that we don't have a broad reach, you know, it's not going to get heard. But I'm talking about actual people in, you know, just, or honestly though, if you're just a regular human being, not trying to be, not trying to have one of these fake internet jobs like we are, if you're just a regular human being, like you can get caught up just posting some shit at Facebook and then boom, you lost your fucking job. And it's like, dude, why is everyone expecting everyone to be like, oh, you have to have the right opinions. You have to be a fucking perfect angel. Dude, I'll be straight up. Most of my friends are degenerates, and that's why I fucking love them. I don't know this urge to just all the time expect perfect behavior from people. And it's like, oh, the artist I like better have the right opinions. I've said this 1,000 times, dude. I'm a fucking libertarian. If I expected my artists that I like to have the same opinions as me, I'd like 4 bands, if that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really hard to say, like, it's hard to say like you have to have an opinion or even have to share the same opinion as me.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're going to see a band that is political, or like Roger Waters, if he didn't address something about, and by the way, I don't think he did. He's somebody that's been talking about the Israel-Palestine thing, like ranting about it, and people where people are in the crowd are like, Jesus Christ, can you just fucking play the songs? Like, if you went to see him and he went off about it, or he didn't go off about it, you'd be like, hey, what the fuck? You should say something about this. You always say something.
It's like if you didn't hear Rage say something about something political.
Like that.
But it's that.
But
if
it's
thing
like
where,
1975, like, I mean,
it doesn't need to be.
Right. I think they're a pop band, and like, or just a whatever. And also to address the fact that the thing you talked about, how he just talks too much sometimes. It's funny because NoFX will actually be very similar to that, where like the banter goes on a little too much, to where like the drummer will just start like going like, all right, come on. Like, he has a mic that doesn't go out to the crowd, but just goes to the other band's earpieces.
Wait, really?
Yeah, so he goes like, let's go. Like, so sometimes you'll overhear him, sometimes over his drum mic, sometimes if it's like a lull, but a lot of times it's him just talking to them, and like, and
that's so fucking funny.
So he'll be like, let's go, come on, let's just go, come on, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, let's go. Like,
that's crazy. I never knew that. That's so funny.
So it's I think that there is like a banter, and that's mainly drug use. I think was like a drug use and alcohol would be like the thing where you have to rein them in.
Fat Mike's probably fucking toast on most shows.
So I think it kind of was a reining them in, but it's also like he's keeping time literally the whole time. He's like saying like, hey guys, we have to play this many more,
because they can't just be up there forever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They have a time limit. So like if it was, they probably would play like you said, like 7 songs and like just bullshit in the middle. But every once in a while he'll just like, he has a mic that doesn't go out to anybody else except for the crew.
I always heard that was the downside of going to see Blink-182 live. I heard they talk way too much in between songs.
Yeah. And their songs are short anyway, so they can kind of get away with playing 70 songs in like 3 hours, but they still talked 2.5 hours, you know?
Yeah, I don't mind talking, but if you're giving me 5 minutes in between songs, that's a lot.
Right.
And
And if it's
I'll give
something,
it to you. I'll give it to you one time in the middle of the show when you want to do a big speech.
somebody's
But other
truly,
than that,
yeah,
there really shouldn't be more than like 4 minutes occasionally in between songs.
somebody's changing a string, or somebody's got to retune a guitar or some shit like that, or like they're
Yeah.
changing a drum head or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Like something like that makes sense for them to to take time in between, or have that little buffer of a rest. But if unless you're actually going to see a band that normally shares their opinion on that kind of stuff, the Israel Palestine thing, it's the same thing. It's any of that shit. Like it's a weird, touchy topic for a lot of people right now. And especially even joking around, like I'm sure even at that point when he started going like, "Oh, Israel Palestine," I'm gonna riff on that a little bit. I'm sure his band were like, "Come on, man, don't fuck this up for
Yeah,
us."
and also in another breath, or what am I trying to say? The other side of it too is like, for me, you know me, like we fucking, bro, half these pods when we're done, me and Pat end up talking about like topical or political shit. Fucking the last time we podcasted, we ended up talking about politics for like an hour after. Like
Yeah.
I don't mind hearing people give their political opinions. It's just that thing of like, I want more people to realize it's perfectly fine to go, I don't know a lot about that topic, so I don't feel comfortable talking about it.
Right.
That's completely fine.
Right.
That's
Yeah, a lot of-
that's like my biggest point about all this shit. It's completely fine to just go, I don't know a lot about that.
And you don't owe anybody else. I think you owe people less of your opinion. And I'm saying this like it's opinions again, Andy. I don't know if you've ever heard this. That's the little thing I came up with. Opinions are a lot like assholes.
Oh, Patrick, language, buddy.
Everybody's got them, Andy, and a lot of them really fucking stink. You know what I mean? I just came up with that. I think we should make that shirts, because that's a real gem.
I gotta get this in camera a little bit
Thank
more.
you so much. I'll take
Here
that.
we go. That's gonna be the rest of the podcast.
Hold on, I'll use both hands. There we go.
Here you go, buddy.
But that's I feel like that's just really what
I
it
had
is.
I had to skip this year to go see Steph do CrossFit.
Oh, lame. Does she know what you sacrificed?
She did know. She did really good. It was weird. I wanted to go, but also I did miss the chili comp. But I was happy to go see her do CrossFit.
Andy, I don't know if I know you're kind of new to the CrossFit thing, but it's actually called spotting. You spotted her.
What?
When you're working out, it's called spotting. When you watch somebody. So like a lot of times I'll go to the there's a MyFitness right by my house. I don't have a membership, but I go in
and
there.
then you go, can you spot me? And then you lay on your back.
No, I just go into the bathroom. I spot some of the ladies in the stalls. Just spotting you, ladies. Hey,
just spotting you.
Good form.
Just spotting you.
This smells bad in here.
I'm just spotting you, sweetie.
Just spotting you.
Oh no, it's okay. I have both these in my hands. I have a lavalier mic.
Yeah, I got a lavalier mic. They're like, yeah, it's not plugged into anything. I'm like, yeah.
Whew. Well, Pat, can I tell you something? Like every week,
Me?
you, Pat George, like every week, we did the damn thing. Great job today. This has been a great podcast. Guys, gals, everyone in between, thank you so much for hanging out with us. As a reminder, I posted so much content.
How many
My
views?
Christ.
How many reviews?
Oh my Christ, I need attention. I posted so much content. Jesus, what the fuck's wrong with me? No, for real though, I like to talk about all these smaller bands and stuff like that. So you post a lot of shit, but yeah, lots of stuff to talk about on the YouTube channel here. Real Friends, Better Lovers, Kawanashi, Texas in July, Filth, Paleface Swiss, Many Eyes, and Andre 3000. Oh, with Sales Ahead and Danny Brown.
Oh, I forgot that Andre 3000 came out. Damn.
Yeah. Did you listen to it?
No, it's just a flute, right? Isn't it flutes?
Yeah, it's just sleep sounds. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh, and then I'm also starting this thing where, shout out to the band Foxtrot. I posted a clip where I was trying out a thing where I'm gonna go back and listen to bands' full catalogs. And I put up a clip from it, but I never actually edited the footage and did it. And now I actually did it. So I'm going to try to stay consistent with it, but every Thursday, I'm going to go through a band's whole catalog, starting out with Dance Gavin Dance. I did a full album reaction to their first EP, Whatever I Say Is Royal Ocean. Those will come out every Thursday on Throwback Thursday.
Nice.
So look out for that. Please watch these videos, do all that shit. But most importantly, until next time, have a good week. Be nice, don't be a dick, and always remember to be about it, bitches. Bye-bye.